Hello, everybody. It is Friday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Adam Bittner, Assistant Sports Editor for Multimedia at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, joined today by Jason Mackey, our Post-Gazette sports columnist, to talk about the Pirates as we continue to wind down the season here. Still some intriguing storylines to follow. We're going to talk about Henry Davis, a handful of other young players. Are they playing for roster spots for 2026? Where do they belong in the mix and the conversation as we get into hot stove season, and do they still have time to impress us into saying that guy belongs on the roster? Jason, I want to start with Henry. I think you and I talked a couple weeks ago about the solid record they have with him behind the dish. It was around 500. I think it was a little bit above that, maybe a winning record.
Yep.
But his offensive numbers are still horrific. He's showing no apparent signs of figuring it out at the plate. What is his future in your guys, and what's the need to address that position meaningfully this offseason, absent him going on a real tear here in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think they're in a fascinating place with their catchers, Adam. And an overarching thought that I have with the Pirates this last little stretch, didn't we expect or hope to learn something about somebody? I'm not sure we've learned anything about anyone. Maybe the pitchers, but I think we already knew that. And Henry Davis, I look at him and I see the defense having gotten pretty darn good, like you're saying. And I want to sit here and say that Henry Davis should be in the lineup, should be catching Paul Skeens and all this stuff. And then I look over and I see a 161 batting average. I can't. I can't. I don't know what the solution is, but it's not that. You can't live with the 161 average as a catcher unless that guy is an unquestioned slam dunk Gold Glove award winner. And Henry Davis, he's improved defensively, but he's not that. So I don't know what you do. I don't think you bring in another catcher. I don't think that makes sense. I think you have to hope and pray that one of them hits between Henry Davis and Joey Bart. And at this point, it's probably just a straight timeshare. Flores has been pretty good in AAA, the young guy they got. Is that it? Rafael Flores? I can never remember his first name.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll double check it in between here, but I'd start with Henry Davis and Joey Bart and pray one of them can hit. I don't have another solution, but it's an awkward place to be in for somebody who's a 1-1 pick who you knew could hit, but you didn't think he could catch. All of a sudden, he's a good catcher and he can't hit.
Yeah, you don't want to be having these conversations about these guys at this stage. This is a conversation you wanted to be having in 2022, 2023, maybe 2024. It's bad that you're having this conversation in 2025. Yes. And there's too many positions.
An offensively deficient team, mind you.
Yes, it is. It is like you want him to, if he was hitting 210, Jason, I think it's a completely different conversation. Not even a super competent, very solid guy at the plate, just the most baseline level of competence at the plate. And we just haven't seen that from him. And that's what makes it difficult. You could talk me into, if he was at around 210, oh, maybe he can take a step up, 230, 240, 250, add a little pop, something like that. Then that's great from the catching position. But we're so far from that. He has to take the step you wanted to see him take this year, next year. And that's just not conducive to team success, even if, he has been solid defensively. Jason, I'm going to read off some other young names who haven't done much of anything to be around next year. Tell me how many of these guys you think are going to make the opening day roster next year. Yorke, Devanney, Peguero, and Bae.
Big donut hole from me. It's not a donut hole. Zero's not a. You know what I mean. Yeah, I don't see how any of them make the team, Adam. I mean, that's what I mean. We wanted to see these guys get some runway to show what they can do. Last night, I'm watching the game. You've got Ji-Hwan Bae taking a terrible read on a fly ball and left. Jared Triolo, thankfully, did not, and he catches it in shallow left field, a ball that Ji-Hwan Bae should have. Ji-Hwan Bae's base running is always an adventure. I don't know if he can hit. Probably not. He's streaky. Every once in a while, it looks like he can. But, I mean, what has Peguero done since having 3 homers in a game? He's basically done nothing. Nick Yorke hasn't come up here and proved anything. Cam Devanney looks like a quad A player at this point. I'm not formulating a final opinion, but if I'm going to try to look at my roster on opening day 2026, those guys are nowhere near it. Right now with the Pirates, I'm looking at a team that has some pretty good starting pitching, some pretty good bullpen pieces, and a couple bats that I'm committed to. That, I'm fine with Nick Gonzalez, Brian Reynolds, Oneil Cruz. They're going to be in there. Triolo's probably on your roster, hopefully as a 26th man. Other than that, man, like, you got to go out and buy some bats. You got to go out and hit the offseason hard, maybe trade for some things, trade some pitching if you have to. But those guys from AAA, we hope to come up here and see earn a spot, have not done it.
No, not at all. Jason, we're going to talk about Oneil Cruz as another quasi-young player, a guy that you still see with some potential, something like that. We're going to talk about him on the other side of this break, some potential or the amount of bats we'd like to see them acquire in this offseason, and a little bit about the bullpen. Before we do, just want to pass along a message from our friends at Greenewalt Roofing. Check them out.
Hey, Pittsburgh. When you think of great roofs, you think Greenewalt Roofing Company. With over 20 years experience, Greenewalt knows your roof is your home's first line of defense from rain, wind, snow, and ice. That's why Greenewalt Roofing's standard for perfection is so important. You can trust that their team of experienced installers will treat your property like it's their own. When it comes to roof replacements, Greenewalt Roofing is Pittsburgh's only choice. Visit greenewaltroofing.com today or call 412-314-8882 to schedule your free estimate. PA contractor number 36262.
We're back on the Pirate Show. Also want to thank our friends at FanDuel. We're getting into the final weeks of the pennant race, heading into the MLB postseason. Make sure you check them out for your futures bets, your division picks, all of that. Jason, Oneil Cruz has become something of the Groundhog Day conversation, where it feels like we're having every couple of weeks. We have, can he turn it around? Can he take that next step? Can he just do something to show you some kind of light is going to go on there? And then we don't do it for a couple of weeks, so we come back and it's the same thing. He just seems to be at a higher baseline than we were having with Henry Davis earlier on. Like, there's a baseline level of competence, but he does not appear anywhere close to making that star turn that we were talking about around the home run derby and at different points in his career as a Pirate, just because of the physical specimen that he is. Yeah,
he hasn't, Adam. And I was actually thinking back to that around the home run derby. Everybody's talking about, oh, the Pirates should talk to him about an extension, and they should have extended him earlier and all this. No. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with Oneil Cruz. It's an uncomfortable middle. I mean, I'm not going to DFA the guy. I'm not going to bench him. He's still one of their better hitters. He still gives them an opportunity for things. But is he an elite player? Is he a star talent? He might think he is. He might act like he is and comport himself like that. I mean, right now he's a 105 OPS player for his career. This season he's at 90. He's hitting 200. His OPS is 682. Like that's not star caliber stuff. I don't care how much you light up StatCast. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for a mega contract extension. That's good enough to hold down a spot because you're interesting until someone better comes along. And lucky for him, the Pirates haven't been able to bring along anyone better. And frankly, Adam, one of the things that I think about this offseason, I probably wouldn't do it, but because I don't want to give up on the skills quite yet. He does have the ability, I think, to really burn the Pirates and make people feel incredibly frustrated if he ever figures it out. So I'm going to give him a longer chance to do that. But why are we committing an outfield spot to him? Like, if you look at what they need to do, we always say, oh, they need one outfield bat. You've got Reynolds and you've got Cruz. Like, a guy with a 682 OPS, is he really that entrenched? Should he be? Again, I'm not cutting bait. I don't want to get burned by Oneil Cruz going somewhere else and producing. Right now, it's not going to cost me that much to see another year. I'll spend that money. Cool. But it does make me wonder. He's got to figure it out soon, man. It's beyond time. It's 350 games into his career or something? 365, excuse me, at his baseball reference page up. Needs to click now. It's beyond time.
Yeah, he's just a guy right now, Jason. I can see people remembering him fondly in 10 years. Remember the moonshots he used to hit, the StatCast numbers, all that. Like, I think he'll
Dude, I mean, we can talk about Jose Guillen's throws, about Randall Simon hit some things hard. I don't know. Darrell Ward hit some things hard and far. Like, didn't make them great players.
Yeah, I think the power blinds some people to the very obvious flaws that need to be fixed. Jason, you referenced the conversation about what they need to spend their money on this offseason. I want to set the conversation up like this, if I told you they'll spend significantly on two bats this offseason, and I don't mean like $4 million to Tommy Pham, I don't mean a Rowdy Tellez contract, I mean a legitimate, maybe it's a 2 or 3 year deal, something like that. You get two of those to address their many deficiencies.
Yeah.
Where are you spending that kind of money?
Now, I hope significant means like double-digit million per year. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and with some term, to me, is kind of where
I agree.
Yeah.
I want like, I don't know, 15 million a year over 3 years, something like that. And where I'm going, number one is third base. I don't think they've gotten nearly the production that they should out of a corner infield spot. And the other's outfield. We were just talking about, do they have enough? Brian Reynolds and Oneil Cruz, are they giving them enough? But I mean, there's a clear hole there. Probably a corner outfielder. I guess if they're committed to keeping Oneil Cruz in center, I think it's more detrimental to move them. But I want two legitimate bats between $12 and $15 million, multiple years on at least one, and guys that you can put in the heart of your order and you don't question it. So, yeah, I'm going corner, outfield, third base. Do you think that's a solution that would work?
Well, I think those are the traditional places you do it, Jason, other than
would you feel better about the offense if they did that?
I would feel better. I don't know if I would feel good. And I guess the other position that I would be looking at is Spencer Horwitz. Has he been good enough at first base for you? The OPS, I think, is 727 at this point. Is that what you wanted out of him when they made that trade? And are you reasonably satisfied with that position such that, or is there just such a glaring deficiency at the other two spots that Spencer Horwitz is just good enough, even if maybe he's not what you'd want?
Yeah, I mean, 727 is okay for a first baseman. It's not desirable. I'm going to pull up his splits because this is the way I'd proceed with it, Adam. I mean, against righties, he's at 753. It's actually lower than I anticipated. And against lefties, he's only at 542 OPS. I mean, I would platoon Spencer Horwitz. I feel like in the offseason, they can find somebody, a right-handed hitter, to play first base. I've said this before with you. I'll say it to anybody who will listen. I don't understand what they're doing with Joey Bart. Like, if you want to try to clear a spot for Rafael Flores, great. That's a way to do it. Play Joey Bart at first base. Joey Bart is not a good defensive catcher. I don't know what we're clinging to. He's a right-handed bat who hits lefties extremely well. All he has to be able to do is catch throws from infielders and don't screw up the rest of the stuff. I'm not saying first base is easy, but Spencer Horwitz, a 727 OPS for a team that's offensively deficient. I don't know if I can live with that, but I can live with his numbers against righties. Righties. I don't know why I can't tell my right from my left today. But yeah, I would platoon him.
Jason, quickly to wrap it up, I know we want to talk a little bit about the bullpen. Some interesting pieces that are there that could potentially be in the rotation, could potentially stay in the bullpen for, at least the intermediate term with Braxton, Ashcraft, Bubba, Chandler. How do you want to see that group shape up next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got the makings of a pretty good bullpen, Adam. You can take those guys. I'd put them in the rotation. But as far as the bullpen, you're going to start with Denis Santana. Isaac Mattson has pitched himself into a regular role for me. I think Carmen Majinski, we're seeing more and more that he's a reliever and a back-end reliever and a very good back-end reliever. They need at least another lefty down there. I don't know if you want to put Chase Sugart in that group, maybe at least give him an opportunity for next year. Kyle Nicholas is somebody that, for me, he's in that discussion. They need to spend a little bit of money on that group. I don't think that's any great secret. But I like the makings. They have the hardest part of a bullpen figured out, the back end guy. You've got a closer, you've got multiple setup guys. You can always fill in with long relief options, or if you're going to get a little creative with starting pitching, they'll get the runoff from their rotation competition. They're going to have at least 6 guys competing. Whoever doesn't make it, they can get one of those roles. So I like what they have back there, Adam. I do. They need to spend a little bit, get it. I'd say maybe 2 arms, one being a veteran lefty, but you've got the makings.
Well, we'll continue to monitor that situation over the last 3 weeks here. Does it continue to clarify at all? Jason, thanks for joining me this week. Always a great conversation here on the PG Pirates channel. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything from us. You don't miss Colin Beasley, our 2 Pirates insiders, at the Post-Gazette and to check out their work at postgazette.com. Also, like this video if you enjoyed it. Help us out in the YouTube algorithm. We always appreciate that, and we will talk to you again next week.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.